Oh, that's a good draw. He's kind of thinking about it. And then what? It's the Mahjong Gen YouTube channel.
Welcome to Prost, a show of roasting pros. What does that mean? You roasting us, we roast you, or we all roast each other. It's a work in progress. Come along and we'll find out together what in the world Jen, Garth, and our guest pro want to say.
So go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the like button right now before we do anything. Each week we're going to feature a Mahjong streamer from Twitch or YouTube or wherever you send us your videos from. We analyze a hand from Tenho or Ronron with our guest pro, and we all learn together. So this week's featured streamer is Lord XP-san. Make sure you go give him some love on Twitch. The link is in the description.
And today's guest is Keijun Nara. Welcome. Konnichiwa. You know him as the winner of many, many things. First of all, the World Reach Mahjong Championship in Vienna, this most recent one in 2022. Also, he is the winner of the 20th and 30th JPML Masters tournaments. And finally, the Big One Cup, the 20th one. So welcome to our show, General Roaster of the competition, Keijun Nara.
Welcome, yokoso.
Welcome.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get right into our next hand. The East round, second hand. Now we're at 3 continuances. The Dora is West, and we are in the South seat. Okay, so we start with this hand. It's really kind of looks crappy, or at least hard.
What do you think?
So when you get a hand like this, and you're in this position, what's your first thought?
この手は前回の時と違ってまっすぐ上がりに行くにはちょっと厳しい配配なので、チュンと赤ウーピンを軸に、ちょっとメンツを作るの想定で、あと青とトンを重なってちょっと打点もつけたい。でも基本はでも放充しないように進めていくのがいいのかなという気はします。
Okay, that's really important. I think that a lot of people, when they see this hand, they just think Chanta. But you have a red 5 in there. What do you think of that kind of balance?
チャンタ好きな人はでも第一打に赤ウーピンとか切る人もいると思うんですけど、ペンチーマンとペンチーピンだとペンサンゾとかペンチャン3つってやっぱり結構厳しいんで、うまくいく時もあるんですけど、でも特に赤ある麻雀だとチャンタってあんまりどちらかというと損な役なので、赤を使うことを考えて手を進めていった方がいいと思います。
Okay, excellent advice. Thank you. A lot of people, I think, have trouble with that. Okay, so he started with the green dragon, which probably doesn't go in line with what we were discussing before.
Oh, wow.
You can see here, this is kind of what I was talking about. A lot of people will push towards the Chanta side just because, you know, those sets are almost done, even though the weights are really poor. But he is also discarding like honors, but also going, it looks like Chanta.
I wonder whether, you know, having said what he said, you can still go for Chanta, but you can also get rid of some of your possibly dangerous tiles, no?
ヤンマンとチソとか切ってやっぱ青とか飛んで自敗持ってちょっと安全にスーパーよりかは安全なので後々なんですで自分も重なったら攻撃にも使える手なんでちょっと手配は受け入れは狭くなるんですけどちょっとスリムにしながら手を組んでいくのがいいかなと思います。
So let's see what happens here. Oh, that's a good draw. He's kind of thinking about it. And then what? What? So this, I feel like, I don't want to put like Lord XP-san on blast, but I do feel like this is a mistake. I think if you're going for something like that could become Chanta, then I think you need to keep some honor tiles for that, especially if it's already a pair and it's worth value.
Jun-chan?
手が頭もなくなってるし上がりから遠くなっちゃってるので、ニャンマンかチーソー切っとくのがいいかなと。
I wonder if like a lot of people feel like they don't want to discard the middle tiles because they're going to get something that they can use with it later.
It's still very far away, but I wonder if he's also thinking, well, there's still the possibility of 1, 2, 3 Sanchoku or 7, 8, 9 Sanchoku.
I think he was actually. I think if you listen to the chatter, I think he was talking about that.
123見るにしてもやっぱチーソーでいいのかな。
I think maybe he was having trouble deciding which one, so he just left both. But at least like here, you know, you finished the 1, 2, 3, so that's probably the one. If you're gonna like push really hard for Sanshoku, that's probably the one. Okay, so we do have one mistake here with the red dragon. Just discarded the other red dragon. That's pretty typical.
Now we have a not so useful Kanjan.
Yeah, we're gonna keep going until we get to something a little bit more interesting. Even the discards of the other players at this point aren't very notable. So would be hard to read them.
Oh, all right. We got the Sanshoku coming in.
Yeah, so he has decided to go for the Sanshoku and maybe something like a Junchan kind of hand. The 5 of dots and the 7 of bams are kind of floating there still.
Oh,
Let's see what he discarded first and then we'll... So here he goes with the 5 of dots.
what do you think here?
Well, the thing is because like he obviously valued the red 5 over the pair of red dragons. So it seems strange to value the Kanchan, the gut shot, over the red 5 after discarding the value tile.
ここウーソーチーソンのとこでメンツできてももう高くならないんで赤ウーピー残した方がいい。
Nice point. If you're really looking to make this hand become valuable for some reason, saving the red 5 is a more likely way to make it valuable than saving the Kanchan. There goes one of our 7s. Iranayatama. Ooh.
Okay, so now you get a reach, and you've made a few mistakes and also have not really that many safe tiles. There's no Genbutsu, there's no like 100% safe tiles in your hand, so...
もうこの手は自分の手まだ現状すごく受け入れの狭いリャンシャンってすごくいいツム引いてきてやっとテンパイでなるのでもうこの手はもう上がりは相当難しいのでもう折に向かいます。で、現状現物はないんですけど場に1枚切れてる筋の9ピンあたりあとは筋のイーソーぐらいなるだけ放充しないようにこの手はもう進めます。折ります。折に向かいます。
I might think just a little bit. Oh, I could push still a little bit longer with the 7 of bamboos. I wonder if that's you wouldn't even want to push there.
チーソーでもいいと思います。先に進んできてたとローピンチみたいに両面を嫌ってリーチしてきてるんですよね。町は手役絡まない限りはだいたい両面以上と読むのが普通で、たまに缶チーソーとか3色の場合とかもあるんですけど町は相当良さそう。どこかはわからないですけど。なので筋とかは相当通りやすくはあると思います。
That's really good advice. I never thought of that.
That point slipped right by me too. Oh no. Temptation. Oh wow, there you go.
Okay, で終わりました. So let me go back a little bit. So the point that I really wanted to make with this hand is that when you have a lot of outside tiles, it's really tempting to just go for Chanta. And when you do that, you really have to either go for it or not, instead of just kind of being in the middle and undecisive.
チャンタはあんまり狙わなきゃできないんですけどなる時ってやっぱ受けが苦しいペンチャンカンチャンが残ることが多いので頑張ってリャンハンなのでそれよりかはこの赤ウーピーっていう確実ないいハンがあるんでそこをメンツに作ってリーチとかで攻めるなら手を組んでった方がいいのかなと思います。
For example, to expand it a little bit more, if we were playing different rules, like say for example this were like our league game, we were playing like the competition rules as we call them, would you think a little bit differently?
だったら全然チャンタ狙ってもいいです。チャンタとあと一通を見ながら、リャンマンとか切っといて手進めるのか思います。
Excellent. Thank you so much, Nara-san. That was excellent advice. I learned a lot too.
Yes, that was a great study for me. We got more stuff to write down. Okay, so yes, you can check us out in our usual places. I am on Twitter at Garthe, Garthe. Jen, you are
Mahjong Jen everywhere. Mahjong and then JEN.
and oh my gosh, I forgot to remember Nora's Twitter handle, but we'll have a link in the.
There'll be a link in the description. Yep. Make sure you follow Nara-san's Twitter.
Please like our special roast Lord XP, and I think that's it for today's show. Thanks to Nara for showing us how to win, and thanks to you all for joining us. And be sure to check us out again on the next episode of Pressed on our journey to someday finally get enough advice to play like a pro.
Thank you, everyone. Nara-san, ありがとうございました。
Game over.